early in the morning, in the morning, in the
What's going on,
morning.
people? It's your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about everything Drake versus Future. If you guys didn't know, Drake and Future are involved in a bit of a beef, bit of friction that involves different artists such as Kendrick, Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, all types of different people. Guys, this video is going to be a little bit different from the normal style videos I do. This is more of a deep dive and a focus and a bit of a history lesson on Drake versus Future. What's the beef about? Where did it stem from? What's the origins? How did we get here? Spoiler alert, it's down to a girl. As it always is, man. These rappers beefing over gal, it's embarrassing, but we're going to get into all that. Let's not even ruin the fun too much. We've got a whole story before we even get to the whole arguing over girls business. So guys, let's get straight into this video. Please press that thumbs up button, that like button. It takes half a second and it makes such a massive difference on how the YouTube video performs in the algorithm. Press that subscribe button, it's road to 50k. Press that bell to be notified. I'll be dropping videos in the AM and the PM. Merchandise in the description below. I'm still, unfortunately, recording, editing and uploading this video on my phone because these stupid guys still ain't fixed my proxy laptop. Anyway, so in March 2024, Future and Metro Boomin released an album called We Don't Trust You. And on that album is a song called Like That. Like That is Metro Boomin, Future and Kendrick Lamar. And on that Kendrick Lamar verse, he absolutely obliterates Drake and J. Cole. We've always known that Kendrick and Drake and J. Cole have always had a bit of competition between them. They're known as the Big Three, right? So it's not necessarily uncommon for rappers to go against each other, especially Kendrick and Drake, who have been dissing each other subliminally for years. But the difference this time was Kendrick's verse was very live and very direct. He came straight for Drake and J. Cole, specifically Drake. The reason why that was so shocking is because it was on Future's track. What do we know? Future and Drake have got history. They go way back to 2011. Why would Future allow Kendrick to ether Drake on this very same song that he's on? Guys, let's take a trip down memory lane back to 2011 where Future and Drake's history started. So back in 2011, Future was signed to Epic Records and his future, was looking bright. Drake at the time was a massive, massive rapper. He wasn't the biggest rapper in the world at the time, but he was well on his way to becoming that. So in 2011, Future dropped his breakout song, Tony Montana, banger. Now Drake being Drake, Drake always seems to pick up talent early and he jumped on the remix with Future. So Drake jumped on the Tony Montana remix with Future. So it's all well and good, Drake jumping on Future's track, amazing. But when it actually came to recording the music video, Drake was nowhere to be seen. Take a look at this clip here.
I was just trying to deliver a great video. I was just trying to deliver what the people heard, what the fans heard, and what I seen. Why I choose you to get on my record out of all people. So many people from Atlanta wanted to get on this song. And it's just like basically a slap in my face because they like, shit, you should have did it from somebody from Atlanta who was gonna get in the video, who wanted to be part of your video. And you go outside Atlanta and you try to get something different. I really wanted to give Atlanta something different, and when it turned out into being a slap in my face.
As you can see, that was an interview with Future back in 2K11. I didn't show the whole clip, but just before he said what he said, he did give Drake credit. He did say, I've got to give Drake credit for jumping on my track. A lot of people could have jumped on the track and he was the one that exposed me to his audience, etc, etc, etc. But at the end of the interview, you heard him clearly say there the fact that he felt like it was a slap on the face that Drake did not appear for the music video. He says that I'm from ATO. I could have brought a million different ATO rappers on to represent, but I didn't. I went for Drake. I wanted to get an outsider on the track and he let me down. He slapped me in the face. So as you can see from that clip, there was tension from the very start of their relationship. Either way, the tension was short-lived and they jumped on another song again. The very next year, they jumped, Future and Drake were on the same song with DJ Drama. The song was called We In This 1.5. Now, this next clip I want to show you isn't necessarily beef, but it is Future talking about how he inspired Drake's Started From The Bottom.
I started, when you make it from the bottom, you the chosen one. So, but we was at the studio, Drake came by the studio, and I always tell my engineer, started from the bottom. So when I put the beats on, I was like, man, put the beats in. So I always started from the bottom. So when I say started from the bottom, he thought I was talking about the song. So when I played Chosen One, he loved Chosen One, but he was waiting for me in Chosen One to say started from the bottom. So he said instantly, he telling me this story. He bought me a bottle of Louis XIII that I never opened up.
Wow.
Because of this story, and I'm like, man, I won't bother, I need publishing.
I know it's not necessarily tension, but I do think it's quite interesting contextually. Because what do we know about Drake? Drake has always been accused of not writing his own lyrics or biting other people's styles or taking inspiration from everyone else. So I do find it quite interesting that Drake's biggest song was inspired by Future. And I actually forgot to mention it earlier, but Quentin Miller, Drake's previous ghostwriter, was actually the one that allegedly wrote Drake's verse for Future's song, Tony Montana. So yeah, Drake's been ghostwriting for a long time still. Now, in late 2013, Drake was preparing to go on tour at the same time that Future was preparing to release his second album. That album was called Honest. Drake actually invited Future to open for Drake on that tour, which was a great helping hand. But unfortunately, the tension started to arise when Drake started to remix his tour dates and started changing tour dates, cancelling tour dates. Due to Drake switching around his tour dates, Future had to postpone the release of his second album. It was meant to be released in, I think, November 2013, but it had to get pushed back to 2014 to accommodate Drake. Now, while Future was on tour with Drake, he actually did a interview with, not Rolling Stone, Billboard. He did an interview with Billboard, and this is what he had to say. It says, in a recent interview with Billboard, Future described his upcoming project, which he explains will be an upgrade in emotion from Drake's album, Nothing Was the Same. He says, Honest isn't only about love, but about showing emotion, he says. Drake made an album that is full of hits, but it doesn't grab you. They're not possessive. They don't make you feel the way I do. I want to make you fall in love. Not only that, have a look at this. Due to the rescheduling of Drake's Would You Like a Tour, on which Future is serving as support, Honest has been delayed to later this year or early 2014. It's not because of the abundance of rap music released this year. To that question, Future simply replied, I've been on the songs of all these rappers that put out an album, and my music is still better. I found that really interesting. Future's on tour with Drake, but he's giving an honest opinion about Drake's album. And he decides to throw a little bit of shade there. As you can see on your screen, Future tweeted, respect to Billboard, disappointed in being misquoted. Always love for my fam, Drizzy Drake. So as you saw there, Future basically accused Billboard of misquoting him. And he actually got his management to remove those quotes from the interview. When the reality is, he said what he said. Drake, when he found that out, was absolutely fuming. As you can see on your screens, Drake actually demanded, and he told his agent, get Future off the tour, fire him or I will fire him. Future actually was so pissed off at that, he actually filed a lawsuit against Drake. He said that he wants his full $1.5 million from him because he was getting paid $40,000 a show. They ended up squashing it, there was no lawsuit, and Future jumped back on the tour with Drake. So in 2020, Drake and Future released Life Is Good, and in 2021, they released Way Too Sexy. Both were very popular, and it seemed that they were back on track, being friends, BFFs for life and all that, BFFL, whatever. Anyway, now in April 2022, Future drops I Never Liked You. And on that tape, there's two tracks with Drake, one called Wait For You, and the other one called I'm On One. Wait For You was the lead single and it had Drake on it. But this is where we can start to see that there's a clear divide between the two of them around this time period. Because even though Wait For You was the lead single, none of them really promoted it. Future and Drake didn't promote it. And interestingly enough, Future never performed the track with Drake. Drake never performed it with Future, but they both performed it individually. Very interesting. A joint track, one of the biggest on there, if not the biggest track on the tape, and they're not promoting it or even performing it together. Strange. So in November 2022, Future gets replaced by another ATL rapper, 21 Savage. Drake and 21 Savage decided to drop a tape together. And I do believe that undermines What a Time to Be Alive, if I'm being honest with you. But it is what it is. Rappers aren't necessarily restricted to doing tapes with one rapper. You can do it with whoever you want, but I understand that Future was very frustrated with this. Have a look at this clip.
Little rumor that you said here behind the scenes.
Okay.
Remember?
What?
You was talking about Future and Drake?
Oh, that's what I heard. I heard that's a big rumor that Future is not too happy this Drake and 21 Savage album. And
because Future and Drake did an album before.
And it makes Drake and Future album not as important, I would say.
That's what he feels.
And that's, I mean, this is allegedly, this is all rumors. I never heard it from Future's mouth, never heard it from Drake, never heard it from 21. But it's a alleged big rumor that's going on right now.
Where'd you hear that at, Eno?
In the streets.
As you can see from that clip there, that gentleman was saying that he believes, and what he's heard, is that Future was unhappy that Drake decided to collaborate with 21 Savage. He feels that if he's going to collaborate with an ATL rapper, it should be Future. Why not do What a Time to Be Alive too? Their first tape was incredible. So there's tensions brewing there. Now on this tape, some fans believe that Drake was sending subliminal shots directed at Future because there was rumors circulating at this time that Drake and Future were dealing with the same girl, sleeping with the same girl or chatting to the same girl, and they're accusing the other of basically pillow talking. Now we all know pillow talking is dangerous. You're in bed with a gal, a sweet one, and you might have some mutual friends, and your tongue gets a bit loose. You start getting a bit too comfortable and complacent and start spilling the beans and start spilling some secrets. It's not a good look, man. So it turns out Future and Drake have been pillow talking with the same girl about each other. Let me play you some of these lyrics.
What happened to that nigga claiming OVO, we traded him. Niggas, they got love for the boys, so they fake it. Crack a couple jokes to some on some snake shit. Might have a rapper girl, but she ain't Drake yet.
So as you can see there, people think those lyrics are directed at Future. Once again, yeah, she might have F'd with a rapper, but she ain't F'd with Drake yet. You get it? Now, on October 6th, 2023, Drake drops his album For All the Dogs. And on that album, there's a song called Fear of Heights. Let me play some to another rapper, more specifically a rapper that's dealing with a woman. Have a look at these lyrics here from the song What Would Pluto Do?
Last time I saw her, she was fucking with my nigga, so the question is, what would Pluto do? He fucked the hoe, so I did.
Pluto is literally Future's nickname. So we know, and we know Drake, he's the king of shading. He loves to shade. He loves to throw little subliminals. This ain't uncommon. Now you guys are probably wondering who this woman is. It turns out this woman is supposedly called Diana. As you can see on your screens, that's her Instagram, Diana Durr. And she also goes by the name of Princess. Obviously, she looks like an absolute baddine, but still, she don't look any special. Like, Future and Drake have probably mashed loads of girls that look like that, you feel me? On Future and Metro's latest album, there's even a song called Princess Diana. Now, people believe that Future was alluding to the same girl that Drake and Future are dealing with. Anyway, things start getting extra spicy and extra hot when Metro Boomin declares war on Drake. After Her Loss basically wins awards, and I think Her Loss won the BET award, Metro Boomin basically tweeted this. He then deleted it. So as you can see, he's unhappy. He ain't happy that Her Loss won. He basically accuses the industry of being fake. The only reason Her Loss won is because it's political and not about this and not about talent, this, that. You know what? I don't even care about awards. I only care about making people happy and etc, etc. Drake responds directly to that.
Sincere thank you from me to you for an incredible year. We've been at this for a long time and you continue to uplift me and accept me. So thank you. And to the rest of you, the non-believers, the underachievers, the tweet and deleters, you guys make me sick to my stomach, fam. Honestly, if you guys want to look at my eyes, you guys want to do something? You guys, that's what I thought. No, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
As you can see, Drake's thinking he's a bad boy, talking about, yeah, what? All you tweeters and deleters? And Metro Boomin actually responds to this by quoting some funny ass clip.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the 9. It's just a joke. Come on. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Don't pull out the 9. So that takes us to the modern day. So when Future and Metro dropped their album We Don't Trust You, there's actually a song on there called We Don't Trust You, where Future basically confirms everything we've been talking about.
Sneak this and I don't understand, dog. Pillow talking, acting like a fed dog. Can't be about a cause I'm sharing, dog.
He says, pillow talking like a fed dog. Can't be about a hoe that we shared, dog. Or something like that. Or that we shared. Clearly, there's tension. Not only that, this is the very same tape that Kendrick Lamar absolutely ethered Drake on. He went in. Drake then hears this diss. He hears all the commotion and basically responds on tour. This is what he had to say.
A lot of people ask me how I'm feeling. I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. Listen, the way I'm feeling is the same way I want you to walk out of here feeling about your self. Because you know how I'm feeling? I got my head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a on this earth that can ever me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight. But in order to, get yourself all gassed up, riled up, and move towards the future, sometimes you gotta acknowledge the mistakes that you made in the past, right? Right? So this is what I want you to do, everybody.
Guys, that's the end of the video. There's been no more updates after that. I'm hoping that J. Cole and Drake are gonna come back at Future and Kendrick, but I'm not too sure. By the looks of things, Future and Drake have never been that close. there was already tension from the moment they met each other when Drake didn't appear on Future's video. There's been back and forth, there's been lawsuits, there's been tension, there's been beef. And Drake always seems to be the common denominator. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. I hope you like this deep dive and this little rap history lesson. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you lot in the next video. Bow.